Hello students, welcome to Litbard. Today we are going to discuss on Rasa theory by Bharat Muni. So let's start the video. The concept of Rasa is unique to Indian poetics and dramatics and is essentially a creation of Indian genius Bharat Muni, which can be considered as an important contribution to the field of performing arts. He presented Rasa formula in context to Natya in Natya Shastra. The Natya Shastra is the oldest surviving Indian compendium on the knowledge of performing arts. Is considered to be fifth Veda. It primarily deals with theatre, dance and musical performance. The Natya Shastra of Bharat Muni consists of 36 chapters in all. The first 3 chapters respectively deals with the origin of drama, the creation of theatre and the worship of stage. Chapter 4 deals with the varieties of dance. Chapter 5 devoted to conduct Purbaranga or preliminary rites. Chapter 6 and 7 related to Rasa or sentiments and Bhavoj or emotion, known as Rasadhaya and Bhavadhaya respectively. According to Bharata Muni, Rasa or sentiment is the mental condition of delectation produced in the spectator of a play or a hearer or the reader of a poem as the inevitable reaction of the bhavas or emotions manifested by the characters. He gives a detailed account of the 8 different rasas or sentiments, namely Sringara or the erotic, Vira rasa or the heroic rasa, Karuna or the pathetic, Hasya rasa or the comic, Rodra rasa or the furious, Bhayanak rasa or the terrible, Vibhatsa rasa or the odious, and Adbhuta rasa or the marvelous. Rasa is actually the impression created on the mind of the sympathetic audience by the expression of bhavas or emotion and is an experience the individual is subjected to on account of this expression. Bhava is the emotion that creates a sense of enjoyment or experience which itself is an entity, and that enjoyment or experience is rasa. Then bhava. Bhava literally means existence and mental state. In aesthetic contents, it has been translated as feelings, psychological states and emotions. In the context of drama, bhavas are the emotions represented in the performance. Bharat Muni explains that there are 3 types of bhavas or emotions. First one is Thai bhava or static emotion, second one is Vyabhichari bhava or transitory emotion, and third one is Tattvik bhava or responsive emotion. The realization of rasa is said to result from the union of 3 interrelated elements, that is determinants, consequent and transitory states complementary psychological state, that is in Sanskrit vibhava, anubhava and vyabhichari bhava. The root cause or the existence that creates the emotion is called vibhava or the determinants. So vibhava is the cause and bhava is the effect. The voluntary expression following the emotion is caused by the determinants is called anubhava or the consequent. Vibhava, anubhava and bhava are thus intimately connected with one another. Then vibhava. What is vibhava? The main the or the condition or the object by which an emotion is activated is termed vibhava or determinants. There are 2 kinds of vibhava. First one is the alambana vibhava, that is the person or object in respect to whom the emotion is experienced and whose appearance is directly responsible for the bringing forth emotion. And second one is uddipana vibhava, the situation or the environment in which that person or object is placed and which is helpful in intensifying the emotional experience. Vibhava is the cause, the main stimulating cause being termed as alambana vibhava, and the environmental factor that are additional cause termed as uddipana vibhava. Then anubhava. The outward manifestation brought forth as a result of vibhava are known as the anubhavas. The anubhava include the performance, gesture, and other means to express the emotional state. There may be involuntary such as sweating, shivering, and trembling, or voluntary such as deliberate action and gesture. So these are visible into bhayaka, those which can be expressed by words, and angika, which are expressed by bodily expression. There are also involuntary emotion known as sattvic bhavas, stamba, sweta, romancha, sarvetta, and bhepatu. Then Vyabhichari Bhava. The Vyabhichari Bhava are the complementary psychological state which exist temporarily in a performance but contribute to the overall emotional tone of the play. The Vyabhichari Bhava are in 33 in number, such as Nirvada, disinterest, glani, tiredness, sanka, apprehension, asuya, insecurity, mada, intoxication, etc. The 8 Sati Bhava evokes 8 correspondence rasa. Those are Rati evokes Sringara, Haso evokes Hasya rasa, Soko evokes Karuna rasa, Krodha evokes Rodra rasa, Utsaha evokes Veera rasa, Bhaya evokes Bhayanaka rasa, Jugupsa evokes Bibhassa rasa, Vismaya evokes Adbhuta rasa. Then next we discuss the 8 kind of different type of rasa. First one is Sringara rasa. Of these 8 rasa, the erotic or Sringara rasa happens to be the Adi rasa and proceed from the dominant state of love or rati, and it has its basis a bright attire or dress. For whatever in this world is white, pure, bright, and beautiful is appreciated into terms of the dominant state of love. Example, one who elegantly dressed is called a lovely person or Sringarini. This sentiment has been so named on account of its usually being associated with a bright and elegant attire. It owes its origin to man and woman and relates to the fullness of youth. It has two bases, union and separation. Union means sambhoga and separation means vipralambha. Of these two, the erotic sentiments is union arise from the determinants like the pleasure of the season, the enjoyment of garlands, ornaments, or beloved persons. This rasa is represented by the movement of eyes, eyebrows, glances, soft and delicate movement of lips, sweet words, and other such things. In case of vipralambha or separation, the rasa is represented by indifferent fear, painful crisis, jealousy, hating, anxiety, drowsiness, sleepy, dreaming, and awakening, illness, insanity, death, and other such condition. The second rasa is hasya rasa. The comic sentiment has its basis the dominant emotion of the laughter. This is created by the determinants such as showing uncivilized dress, greeting, quarrel, use of irrelevant words, mentioning of different faults, and similar other things. Hasya rasa is an important sentiment of any literary work of art. Humor in work of art is not only comic relief but also is the predominant rasa. Hasya rasa is found as the chief element which holds the attention of the perceiver. It arises from such vibhava as wearing clothes and ornament that belong to someone else or do not fit, shamelessness, greed, tickling sensitive part of the body, telling fantastic tales, It should not desire to harm someone but make it laugh and feel happy. According to Bharat Muni, Vibhava of Hasya Rasa is are funny, comic dress, vulgarity, awkward gesture, and comic dialogue, etc. Third one is Adbhuta Rasa. The Adbhuta Rasa is known as marvelous sentiment in Natya Shastra. Bharata Muni explains that the permanent emotion of Adbhuta Rasa is wonder. It arises from such vibhava as seeing heavenly beings, gaining one's desired object, going to temple, a garden or a meeting place, or seeing flying chariot, a magic show, or Maya, or a juggler show. Bharatamuni explains that the Sthayi Bhava or permanent emotion of Adbhuta Rasa is Vismaya, that is astonishment. Something that is marvelous and astonishing may be called as Alambana Vibhava of Adbhuta Rasa. The color of portrayal, shape, size, dimension, distance, and nature are some exciting cause or Uddipana Vibhava of Adbhuta Rasa. This sattvic or psycho manifestation of Adbhuta Rasa are perspiration, trembling, and choking voice. Fourth one is Bhayanak Rasa. The Rasa called Bhayanaka has fear as its impermanent emotion. It arises from such vibhava as ghastly noise, seeing of supernatural beings, ghost, fear, and panic due to the crisis of owls or howling jackals, going to an empty house or to a forest, hearing about, speaking about, or seeing imprisonment or murder of one's relative. As Bharatamuni noted that above the sthayi bhavas of Bhayanak Rasa is fear or bhaya. The vibhava of Bhayanak Rasa can be mentioned as ghastly noise, seeing supernatural elements, darkness, alone in room, and all in uninhabited home, a dark big forest, a wild hunting animal, etc. The transitory emotions that constitute the Bhayanak Rasa are disappointing, depression, agitation, distraction, fatigue, and inconsistent state of mind. Fifth one is Vibhatsa Rasa. In Sanskrit, Rasa Vibhatsa or Vibhatsa Rasa is explained with its Sthayi Bhava, that is Jugupsa, and translated in English as disgustful. The Vibhatsa Rasa produces the sentiment of disgust and represent the incident of disgusting and repulsive element. Vibhava of Vibhatsa Rasa are a person or spectator hearing, witnessing, smelling, or touching something slimy, ugly, and disgusting object. The element of Vibhatsa is evoked. Bharatamuni in Natya Shastra writes that the rasa known as Vibhatsa has disgust as its permanent emotion. It arises from such vibhava as disgusting, hearing or seeing what is ugly, unpleasant, unclear, and undesired. Sixth rasa is Bhira Rasa. This sentiment is relates to the superior types of person and has energy as its basis. This is created by the determinants such as presence of mind, perseverance, diplomacy, military strength, aggressiveness, reputation of knight, impudence, and the likes. It is represented by the states by means of consequence such as firmness, patience, heroism, charity, diplomacy, etc. The transitory states in it are judgment, pride, energy, ferocity, remembrance, etc. The seventh number rasa is the Rodra Rasa or furious. Furious sentiment has its basis the dominant state of anger. It owes its origin of Rakshasa, demons, and haughty men, and is caused by fights to quarrel. This is created by determinants such as anger, rape, murder, abuse, insult, threatening, jealousy, revengefulness, and the like. Its actions are beating, fighting, breaking and cutting, bloodshedding, and drawing up of arms. This is represented on the stage by means of consequence such as red eyes, knitting of eyebrows, giving blows, and so on. The last, the last rasa is the pathetic sentiment or the Karuna rasa. The pathetic sentiment arises from the dominant state of sorrow It grows from determinants such as affliction under a curse, separation from dearness, loss of wealth, death, captivity, accidents, or any other misfortune. This is represented on the stage by means of consequences such as shedding tears, lamentation, dryness of mouth, change of color, being out of breath, and less of memory. Transitory states connected with it are indifference, laughter, anxiety, excitement, sadness, rejection, and so on. So today we discuss in detail the Rasa theory by Bharat Muni. The video may be some sort longer, but it deals with 8 types of rasa: vibhava, anubhava, vyabhichari bhava. So I hope this video will beneficial for you. Thank you for watching this video.